in the rear parking.
The reason that we're asking is because on the form that was filled out, whether it was by you or the applicants, it says, the question is, will separate entrances be assigned to each housekeeping unit? And you folks answered yes. So that's why we're inquiring.
Okay, but the entrance to go upstairs is the front door.
That's the main entrance.
Exactly.
That's it. And then there's what, a little hallway there, and another door to go upstairs.
Exactly. You can see the floor plans, please.
Yeah, no, we can see that. The confusion arises because of the answer on the form. So do we know who filled out that form?
Yes.
Who?
My son.
Okay, so why did you say, what caused you to write
Probably I
yes?
don't understand very good
Pardon me?
probably I don't understand very good the question.
Is that your case, sir?
Huh?
How many cars are there in the family? 3. And do you have room to park off-street? How many cars? How many spaces can you park cars in off the street, on the property itself?
On the property 3 cars.
You can park 3 cars.
Yes.
Just in case, is there on-street parking in front of the house? There is.
Also, with mother-daughter applications, the Board of Architectural Review looks at the plans and reviews them, and oftentimes makes recommendations as to what changes should be made if the board were inclined to grant the application. In your case, there are no recommendations for changes, but there is a provision noted that I would want to make sure you're aware of, if you are, that there will be no variable occupancy in the cellar. I note on the plans you indicated there will be no cooking or sleeping down there, which would be consistent with that. But as a reminder, make sure you comply with this.
Okay, and that's your case.
Did you tell us what the side yard was? If you did, I missed it. I forgot. I apologize. What is the side yard you propose?
4.5.
And
it requires 5 feet.
What? Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that the hearing be closed and matter be placed on the decision calendar. Everyone who signed in on the case will receive a copy of the board's decision.
Second.
All in favor?
Have a nice day, folks.
Thank you.
Next to the call case 6723 through 6923 Baldwin, Keys Enterprise LLC, doing business as Agency of America, renewal of grants, maintaining one double-phase illuminated detached ground sign, overall size of 192 square feet, overall height 18 feet, setback 10 feet from grant family, and 10 feet from side property line, attached reader board not permitted. Maintain menu board sign in conjunction with drive-through windows not permitted. Maintain board sign in conjunction with drive-through windows not permitted. Also known as 1220 Grand Air. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, there's nobody signed in on this case. You want to do a second call?
Yeah, let's mark that second call. This is 76.
Here it is.
Next, we're going to go to case, we're going to continue on with the report. We're going to start with case 7523 through 7623 Blanco. James O'Connor and Tara Means. variances, front yard average setback, construct portico and cantilever, attached dwelling, special exception to maintain accessory structures, shed higher than permitted, exceeding horizontal maximum and less than required side yard, also known as 270 Duck Pond Drive South. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat. State your name and address for the record.
Kurt Jacobs, Architect, 201 Northwest Drive, Farmingdale, New York.
Good morning, Mr. Jacobs.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. James O'Connor and Tara Newton have asked me to appear before you with their various requests. They've resided in this house for the past 17 years. The existing shed is 12.2 feet wide, which is 0.2 feet over the maximum allowed 12 feet, and the depth is 8.2 feet. There's a 1.4 side yard with 2 feet minimum required.
With lots are 1.2.
1.4 side yard with 2 feet minimum required. The height of maximum allowed is 9 feet, and we're maintaining 9.5 feet. This area, 11 houses, and there's slabs on grade, so there's no basement for storage. So this shed is definitely required to store their outdoor garden tools, outdoor furniture, etc. The next part of the case is for proposed first floor interior alterations, a modest front addition with portico, and a partial second floor is proposed. The existing front yard setback to the existing front wall of the dwelling is 30.7 feet. The average front yard setback, as shown on the survey by Hempstead land surveyors, is 33.64 feet. So if we built straight up in the front, in line with the existing first floor wall, it would still be an average front yard setback because the original house is closer than the average setback.
Is the original house at the 30.7 right now, the first floor?
Yes. We are proposing to add a little character to the house, a partial 2-foot cantilever in the front and a 1-foot cantilever, which makes the front yard setbacks 28.7 feet to the 2-foot cantilever and 29.7 feet to the 1-foot cantilever. And the portico is 25.7 foot. The owners have one teenage son, and after the construction is finished, Mr. O'Connor's mother and father are moving in. It will not have a second kitchen. It will not be a mother-daughter. I would like to hand in a sheet with 4 photos. The actual house that's going to be under construction is on the upper left. And there are 3 other houses shown that's on the radius map that are similar in style to the proposed construction. So we will not be setting a precedent.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yeah.
You said that there's a partial second floor addition as part of this application.
Yes.
I see proposed second floor on your plot plan. On my calendar, but I originally thought that was just referring to the heading. But on my calendar, it doesn't say second floor. So I just want to clarify.
Yeah, it's 3 bedrooms upstairs. When I read this, it didn't make sense to me either, where it just says portico and cantilever. The cantilever, you would think the second floor actually existed, and you're going to add the cantilever to the front. but we're not. And the partial second floor, I call it partial because it doesn't cover the whole first 4 foot limit. It includes the 2 foot cantilever and the 1 foot cantilever.
Yeah, hold on.
I know.
Mr. Jacobs, could you approach, please?
Sure.
And we will take these photos and everything. These are
Average is 33. So what do they do? I mean, I know what I would do, but I don't know they do.
Either relocation as well as smart
What is the proper thing? I'm asking you.
How to read it, how to advertise, come back with other programs and the other
So what does that do to the client? That's living staggered living houses. But not a second floor, since it was built in there. It's got a second floor in the campus.
So a second floor, even though this house is at 30.7.
I think, I understand,
Second floor.
that's a valid question. Why do they call it a cantilever? Because it's a second floor cantilever. Generally,
So you're saying
it's a good point.
second floor changes that.
It's a valid point. I wouldn't necessarily say that.
So what you're saying is the look is that the cantilever is off on the second floor. So it's not.
Maybe it is just that. This is a proposal.
No, but it doesn't matter.
But not on the second floor addition.
Yeah, in the second floor addition, front, in the front is can't. Not the rears. Not the rear. And it cantilever doesn't go all the way across. There's a 2-foot for 1 bedroom, there's a 1 foot for the bathroom, and then the right side of the front is flush with the existing first floor.
So technically, Joanna is right.
It's partial.
But the second floor, the straight up second floor to the left,
Still needs a variance.
does not need a
It
variance.
does because the house is already, it's going on, it's already 3 feet check.
So unless that's grandfathered in.
Straight up.
No, but,
Is that grandfathered in because it's straight up?
no, and if you're building on a footprint that already encroaches, you have to get the variance for the second piece.
Real purple, we can get this out. We need artificial intelligence.
I want you to look at that. And you've got a second floor that does not change. Okay, it's going straight up. Right up. See, I understand you. Right. But this is what you want. This definitely for a second floor. 100%. Same. It's been there for years. That's the way you do it.
Bring it up.
So, Patrick, we're going to adjourn this case to March 1st, 2030.
Correct.
Mr. Jacobs, you'll take care of the matter. Notices. Thank you very much.
Next, we have case 7823 through 7923, Bernard and Lisa Kennedy. Variances, lot area occupied, front yard, average setback, constructed wood deck attached to dwelling, vacated 8-2-inch high arbor, also known as 93 Garden City Avenue.
Jean Kennedy, 124 Daily Drive, Sentinel Riches, New York, 11935. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the board.
Are you in any relation to the applicant?
No.
How about JFK?
Actually, my real name is Stevens, Kennedy Stevens. I have that one married. They still go by Kennedy. Mr. Bernie Kennedy at 93 Garden City Avenue, Point Lookout, Section 61, Block 19, Lot 36, Residential B Zone is requesting variance approval to construct a front deck that is approximately 8 feet by 17 feet, 122 square feet in size, that does not meet the required front average yard setback of 7.1 feet, and will be maintaining 2.9 feet setback, a difference of 4.2. The deck will never be moved over. Also to allow an arbor that is on the north side of the property that is 8 by 2 and allowed for 6 feet. The arbor was built around 3 years ago and is maintaining the required side and front yard setbacks. The arbor and proposed deck is increasing the lot coverage from 43.5% to 45.7%, a 2.2% increase, or 138.2 square feet. Mr. Kennedy has lived in his home for 19 years and feels that just time an outdoor front patio on which to have coffee and breakfast and relax and chat with passerbys. The abutting neighbor to the north is a family estate since the passing of his mother. We have provided consent letters from neighbors to the south and other neighbors that are across the street giving their approval.
The McGuire is the one you have?
Yes.
That's in our file?
Yes.
How far off the ground is the platform?
2.5 feet.
That's the case. Any other questions for the board?
We will hear the closing that we please on the city. How many is Kennedy to be notified by mail or situations? Thank you.
Second.
Aye.
Next, we have case 8823, Baltimore, Joseph Rizzo. Variance of height of construct second detached 3-car garage, known as 7 Earl Place. Swear to affirm the testimony the opposing of the
Tina Piniello, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. I'm representing Joseph Rizzo of 7 Earl Place in Baldwin. The property is located on the east side of Earl Place, 138 feet north of Stratton Avenue in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to construct a second detached 20-car garage, which also violates the height allowed. The maximum height allowed is 12 feet, and the height to the midpoint of the ridge is 17 feet 5 inches.
Wait, the maximum allowed is what?
12 feet?
But isn't that a 12-foot average or no?
Yes, 12 foot average.
And what's the average you propose?
Isn't that the average on there? It's just the 18 feet and then 17 feet 5 inches.
But don't we go by
To the
that?
height.
sorry.
Do we go by average on a detached garage? Average height or minimum?
Average.
Yeah, so that's a much less of a variance, I would assume, right? If you're
Yeah, but
average.
I don't have that number.
Because you're talking about the ridge being at 18. Plus the ridge is 17.5.
Right.
What's the midpoint?
The midpoint of the ridge is 17 feet 5 inches. That's the midpoint of the ridge?
No, but isn't that the peak of the ridge is 17.5? Either way, we need the average, right?
Yes, it's the midpoint between the peak and the first, the garage.
We can scale it. Yeah, because that's much less of a variance you're asking for, right?
Right.
Mr. Gallo, you can probably calculate it, right? Okay, huh? Oh, probably not. It's just not enough money. I have a line. I'm going to tell you that 18 is going to be 15.
17 feet 5 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, 30 feet.
No, it is, you're right, it's the midpoint.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
12 and 6.
I think it comes out about 15 if it's scaled. The plates that not that.
Excuse me, while some of the board members are mulling over what does your client need another 10-car garage?
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's like 14 inches. Well, okay, if you have the number, let's put it on the record.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay, so there's an existing 2-car garage, 20 by 20, that's already on the property. The property is an irregular sized property, 206.6 feet wide, 91.80, with a total square footage of 19,092 square feet. With this garage, the lot coverage will be at 11.06%. The reason why Mr. Russo would like to construct a 30 by 30 detached 3-car garage is because he has vehicles right now that he's storing at 2 different locations. He owns a 1940 Ford Coupe, a 1989 Ford pickup, a 2002 Honda, a 2022 Mercedes, a 2022 Camaro, a 2004 Harley Davidson, a 2009 Harley Davidson, and a 2002 BMW motorcycle. These vehicles are all registered to him, and he collects them as a hobby and not any kind of business. Yeah.
Does he repair the vehicles?
No.
No service, no maintenance?
No.
No heat.
No, and he doesn't plan on doing any kind of loft or anything like that. And really, the height was more for the aesthetic because of the size and the pitch. Here's an overall view of the property to kind of see where it's going in the back of the neighbors' houses. 12'9" to the center. The average height is 12'9".
And that we arrived at that by, is that wouldn't be, I don't think that's the midpoint, right? Because the bottom of the soffit's at 9 feet.
Right, so it's
So if you grant it, I want to grant too little there, you're going to have trouble later.
If it's 30 feet deep and you're 15 feet at a 6 pitch, that means it's 7.5 feet high, the whole roof. So
Right.
half of the roof is 3'9",
Right.
plus the 9 feet.
Okay. I thought whatever, if you're confident with that number.
Yes,
Okay, so you're proposing 13
13,
versus
right.
the 12, average 13 with 12 allowed.
Yes,
Are any neighbors in opposition?
not that we're aware of.
So you agree to no heat,
Yes,
no plumbing,
correct,
no repairs,
correct,
No kitchen.
correct.
it's a man cave.
The level bars and motorcycles.
And all the vehicles will be registered vehicles.
Yes, they all were registered in his name now. He said he can provide proof if you want that.
Any other questions from the board?
Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed and matter placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangala, to be notified by mail that the decision was suspended.
Thank you so much.
All in favor?
Next is case 8123, Oceanside. UK install pool and equipment not permitted in the side yard. Install 6-foot high fence larger than pool installation area not permitted in the front yard. Variance in rear yard maintained for the porch attached dwelling. It's known as 3615 Mailing for our drive. Swear from the
Good morning, my name is Melissa Graham, I'm from Long Island Perfect Permits. We are located at 124 Front Street, Suite 205, Massapequa Park, 41762. I'm an agent representing Tunkay Gomez. He is the owner of 3615 Malin Brower Drive, Oceanside, Section 60, Block 86, Lot 22. The application was filed to maintain an existing rear enclosed porch. The rear enclosed porch does not have the minimum rear yard setback of 25 feet. The addition maintains a 2.5-foot setback. As you can see from the odd shape of the parcel, the rear yard setback to the dwelling is only 14.7 feet, so any addition on the rear would trigger a variance. An additional application was submitted for a proposed...
Slow down. Hold on. We're trying to, you're talking, we're trying to find, see
Oh,
what
okay.
it looks like. So
No problem.
whatever number you want.
Yeah, what was can you give the porch numbers again?
Enclosed rear porch, what are they, do the numbers again, the setback?
Oh,
Rear yard.
The rear yard, it's supposed to be 25 feet, but it only maintains 2.5. But the entire dwelling is only 14.7 to the rear.
How far away is this enclosed porch to the neighbor? It looks like Foley, Paul and Kimberly Foley. Would that be their residence where this would be closest to?
On the side of the house, yes, 2.5 feet.
Yeah,
He means how far is their house from the shared property line?
yes, exactly. Well said.
Well, it's 16.3 feet, 15.3 feet to the side, to the rear is only 2.5. On the side, it has 15.3.
Okay, that's,
Excuse me, I think he means, do you see the Foley, the F-O-L-E-Y residence? He'd like to know how far their house is from that, if you know.
I don't know how far the house is now. I just know how far it is to the property line.
Jared?
Yes, thank you.
How long has that been?
I believe he put it in 2021.
Oh, it's just new.
Yeah.
How did your client come to know it needs to be legalized?
He wanted to put an in-ground pool.
So when the inspector came, what triggered the knowing?
He didn't know we needed a permit for it because it's on grade. So when we went to do the pool, and we got pictures of the yard, we saw it, and we told him he had to file for it.
Okay.
It says proposed in ground on your plan.
Correct. The pool's not in yet. Which, that is also part of the variance.
Okay.
Okay, you want to look at the pool?
Sure. Okay, an additional application was submitted for a proposed in-ground pool with 6 feet fencing. As noted earlier about the odd shape of the lot, this is also a corner property with a very large side yard. The side yard is the only location that the pool would fit. My client has set the pool back as far as he could. The proposed 6-foot fencing would be installed along the property line to enclose the yard and provide a barrier for the family for the pool. The fencing is not out of character for the neighborhood. Across the street, they have the same exact situation with the fence and the pool. They purchased the home in 2018. They put the rear addition in 2021. The pool is something that they just want to put in the yard to enjoy it with the family. He has spoken to the neighbor, and there's no issues with it being rented. I have a picture of the across the street property if you'd like to see it. It's the same setup as what he's proposing.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Mooney's driveway is situated? Is it alongside this fence, or is it on the other side?
The neighbors, I have a picture of the front. The neighbor's driveway is on the other side. The where he's putting the pool, it's just a small, empty, like triangle lot next to him. I have pictures of both if you need to see for visuals.
You want to put that in evidence?
Sure.
Take that in evidence.
there a sidewalk? Is there a sidewalk? Sidewalk. Oh, no, at least. There is a sidewalk. So how far back's the sidewalk?
We would, back and answer this question, so it's on the record.
Okay, I'm not sure how far.
All right, so the applicant and the board discussed, let the record reflect, moving the proposed fence back 8 feet on the eastern portion of the property. So as the fence comes down the eastern property line and approaches the street, Malin Brower Drive, the fence would stop 8 feet short of the front property line, and then it would, at the southeast corner, and then it would then run northwest, so to speak, straight to the corner of the front of the house, the southeast corner of the house, to provide some line of sight for both the neighbor's driveway, Mooney, and the applicant's driveway, and for any other traffic basically traveling along that street. And the applicant's agent has indicated that if that's the condition, or seems likely to impose that the applicant would comply if it was otherwise approved.
Correct. I just have a question. The town of Hempstead property, is that fenced?
Well, it has a chain link fence.
And is it see-through?
Their chain link fence, yes. The town's fence is.
Do I have any other questions for the board?
The move that hearing to close the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You will be notified by mail of one's decision once it's ready.
Great, thank you. Have a good night.
Aye.
Next we have case 8323, Police Meadow, Marianne. Variance lot area occupied rear yard consisting of addition attached dwelling. It's known as 2044 Franklin. You swear from another truth, all the truth, nothing but the truth. You see 16 minutes for the record.
Lisa Machia with Permit for Us, 338 Gerald Turnpike, 396, Syosset, New York, 11791. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm here representing Mrs. Mariali, who wishes to maintain and legalize an addition. This property is located in a resident E zone. The addition has a rear yard setback of 24.1 feet, where the required is 25 feet, and lot coverage is 27.8%, where the required is 27.5%. My client's husband passed away, and she needed to sell the home due to financial difficulties. These items were discovered requiring permits. The home has since been sold, and there is money in escrow. Mrs. Mariali respectfully requests your approval.
Do I have any questions for the board? Yes, sir.
you have any additional pictures besides this one that's submitted? This, you really have to see.
I'm sorry, I don't have any actual pictures.
Wait, does this house have a finished basement or not?
I don't believe so.
There was a permit taken out in 2021 on 4088 to maintain the existing finished cellar. And that permit is still open.
Oh, are you looking at this?
Mr. Chairman, what number was that? Permit number?
214088, 2021.
Yes, I have it. Maintain existing finished cellar. The seal was issued to that.
Right.
That's been closed.
Except
That's been
that,
closed, correct?
except that the plans I'm looking at say that there's no, they show for the foundation plan, unexcavated, crawl. Some slab. This shows a slab.
Sorry.
And there's a basement shown on plans.
It does have a basement, I apologize. This is, these are sliding doors. This is the other door. And this is a garage, that's not a garage. Finished. This is like 3 feet from the roof.
So nothing within the garage.
Ms. Kachia, can I just ask, so, I'm very confused. We have the open permit, or closed permits now for the finished basement. My floor plans show the foundation plan, which does not have any basement in it. The first floor plan shows a garage, storage, sunroom, etc. And I have a second floor plan, a sitting room and a bedroom. But the side cross-section shows what appears to be a basement, cellar basement, whatever. Kitchen and living room on the next level up, and a sitting room on the next level up. I don't know, I can't reconcile what we got here.
What you're looking at is the same thing that I have, may I approach?
Sure.
It is definitely.
This is
It's not a garage anymore.
But then it says the basement.
Right, but underneath it, there's the basement there, it's here, which is where the original home was.
Why isn't it, where's that level? Where is this in the basement shown on the floor plan? Neither is the, some things aren't, I always have plans. No, we need floor plans, it doesn't matter what things. But I'm missing floor plans.
need it's there. Yeah.
All right, listen, we don't have, maybe the addition of, we can't, that's not, addition. Analyze an addition. I personally accept plans to figure we can let the record reflect that the applicant's agent spoke with the board at the dais to clarify a few requests made, and that I think the applicant is going to. I think the plans seem to be. The board would request additional plans, a more complete set of plans of the entire structure, not just the proposed addition that would be attached to it, but rather the entire structure, both the elevations and the floor plans, so the board can fully analyze the case, structure, as well. Yeah, I guess we would adjourn the matter.
Partial testimony taken?
Yeah.
Your name, sir?
South Bishop, and will turn it to us.
Yes.
You swear or affirm to the truth I did. Thanks. Good morning. I only want to speak only because the set of floor plans that you're asking for the entire home with the finished basement is on record with the permit that's already been issued with the town.
Okay.
So to have the architect redraw a set of plans.
You can redraw it, you can just give us a complete set.
Right, there were two separate applications, so what was required of this application, the floor plans for the basement, whatever was there, was requirement. I mean, I can get both sets and submit both of them to you at the board if that's what you want.
Well, the application before us is to maintain an addition attached to a dwelling. So the dwelling is relevant. I don't know which one is the dwelling or the addition, but so however you achieve it, I mean, we're not trying to make it difficult. Like, we have floors to the structure that we don't have floor plans for. We have seemingly levels in the cross section that we don't have. It's just we can't reconcile. So if we just have a set of, we just need drawings that show all the floor plans of the entire structure, the addition and that to which it's going to be attached, and elevations. And if you probably do have, if you could just get us that so we can actually see what's on every floor of the entire structure. And the layout. And it sounds like you do have it.
We do. They make it multiple sets of plans.
There's also, if I may, on your permit search, it says, looks like 1955, variance to construct addition to one-family dwelling connecting one with.
Correct. I think that's the connection that you.
So it looks like it. I drove past it the other day. It looks like it was originally a detached garage.
Correct.
And then a connection of a breezeway, which is what this says. So that needed a variance.
We went for variance. This board in 55 approved it, and they constructed this addition in between the two. This addition that we gave for today is the addition attached to the garage, but there is no basement, it's just on slab. So that variance was for the in-between portion, as you stated.
I think it would be
And then there was an extension onto the rear of the garage, further encroaching into the rear yard.
The extension to the side of the garage is what we give for today.
So there's sliding doors or double doors into the
Into
addition.
that storage area, correct, which walks through into the garage. So there's a garage, there's a door that goes through, and then there's that storage area, it's all one.
I think we can solve this by having.
It doesn't show, on your plans, it doesn't show as all one.
Why don't we wait? Okay. I got this week. It's so hard.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
Here, this is the addition that you get for it. There's no thing between, this is the garage. It's a space. It's on the wall.
I understand, okay.
I think if we just have the plans, this could be easily solved.
Right, what I'm trying to say is this instead of 20 here. So that's make the second floor interior finish and the side addition and the whole floor, which shows it's like
It's still
we add set of plans, I think the plans that show the basement, the second floor finish, and we both set the plans.
We want to do is, wish someone here seeing all the different, I want to see the elevations of the entire structure and the floor plans of the entire structure.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is that the full plan show what they're here for, the other set of plans that was looking at this now, but the finished basement, second finish will show that area. I can put the two together and give it to the board.
As long as we can see the elevation of the floor.
You don't know this is anything.
If I may, you said the house was sold. Is there money in escrow? How much is it?
I believe it's 50,000. Fortunately, Mr. Mariotta's husband passed away, so that's why she had to sell the home.
You're what to explain that, thank you.
It doesn't need to be renoticed, so we can put it next week.
Is that going to work for you?
That's fine.
If you're worried about turning around.
First, is not good. What's the next available date?
So we'll return this case to February 15th, partial testimony.
And you'll submit the plans, is there anything else we need? Oh, the plans and any of the permits that are showing open and are actually closed, that's right.
So 9:30. Pardon? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
So you show the building department actually went and closed out and whatever that is.
Right, I was in the home, I was at the residence with the building inspector, everything was closed out. The two permits were withdrawn because of the proposed work that was never done.
Senior residence and
Senior residence.
Fine.
And it's like,
That-
All right.
Thank you.
Here's the next case.
We have case 8423 of Albert Beckmeyer. Variances to block confinement beside the rear yard and maintain deck for attached garage and dwelling. It's known as 3630 Center. Let the record reflect the already sworn in. Who should be
Excuse me. For the record, we're going to hear this case and then going to take a short break
For the court reporter.
Lisa Kushida with Permits and Rust, 338 Jericho Turnpike, number 396, Syosset, New York, 11791. Good morning again, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm here representing Mr. Beckmeyer, who wishes to maintain and legalize a rear deck with roof over attached to the garage and dwelling. This property is located in a resident LPRD zone. The deck has a side yard aggregate 14.3 feet, where the required is 15. The deck has a rear yard setback of 2.6 feet, where the required is 15 feet, and lot coverage is 32.9%, where the required is 30%. The deck and roof have existed for over 20 years without incident. My client's parents passed away, and when he was getting the home ready to be sold, these items were discovered, requiring permits. This home has been sold. There is money in escrow. Mr. Beckmeyer respectfully requests your approval.
Is the 30% apply on the decks when it's moved over in the LPRD? You know, or is it 27.5 because there's a roof on it?
I'm not sure.
How far off the ground is off the grade is the bottom floor of the deck? Oh, I see. I can see now the project start.
2 feet, maybe?
I see.
No.
It's 4 steps, so it's like 3, but whatever.
Okay.
And the roof over is only that little section?
Correct. Yeah.
So you have open permit to construct a garage and porch from 1953. Open permit 1958, construct a 31-foot dormer to the one-family dwelling. Open permit from 2022, maintain finished the second floor with bath, partially finished cellar, and rear one-story addition with roof over. That's, yes.
Are those still open?
Those are in the process. We have the permits, but they're in the process of being closed out once this is rectified.
What was the 2020?
2022.
The cellar doesn't need to be released, right?
Any objections from any?
Not that I know of, no.
And you said the house was sold?
Correct, and there's money in escrow for this property as well.
Any other questions from the board?
Move that the hearing be closed and item placed on the city council is continued to be notified by mail to constituents.
Second?
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 15 minutes at 4 after.
Push your hands.
No, I'm serious. How's your arm? My arm's on. I No, but let me tell you something.
That microphone's
My daughter's sick. She took a whole lot of trouble. But I would just do it. And she takes cold. And she's a really she's 40 years old.
I know.
We can't wait for these to get it stashed to get out.
That can be council. We can actually do this analysis. You don't tell her that. You should she was so it's part of her fund. Tell her that this is I'll try to follow up. Yeah, I know, but again, it's out of our control to approve it. If he wants to approve it, it's approved. And they would essentially just set it down to
We're learning this.
Yeah, we're getting into this now.
Just send it out if you were so, but then, hey, now we're approved. Oh, so you're saying that we have something Are you talking about things that is actually?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't do that. I don't know why. And the seller's name is Steve or something like that. Okay, that's.
Okay, Scott, ready to go?
Yeah, it is.
Next, we have case 8523, near Highland Park. Full Gospel Church. Install one face illuminated LED rear board design not permitted and setback 12 feet from Boston Boulevard, also known as 4101 Boston Boulevard. You swear our first to those who hold you to the truth of God. Please state your name and address for the record.
Joel Hernandez, 258 Washington Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, 11561, representing the Full Gospel Church at Island Park, found in Island Park, New York, 11558.
Morning. Can we help you? How can we help you?
We are seeking a variance for our proposed digital sign. It would be replacing a sign that's presently there, also with electrically lit parking, but it would be set back, I guess, about 20 feet north of where that sign is right now.
Well, wait, setback from Austin. It says it's 12 feet setback from Austin Boulevard. Is that the setback you're referring to? Or
No, the setback, being moved from one portion of the property to a different portion.
Right. I just want to see where. Yeah.
Sir, is the old sign 12 feet back also?
Yes.
And the reason you're here is because you're not allowed to have an LED, right?
That's correct.
And what is it? Is the LED? Is it animated? I mean,
It would be animated, but it's specific to church hours, informational only.
when you say animated, do you mean we can change the hours and put a message or something up?
That's correct.
And it will stay there for an hour, or do you mean it's moving like cycle?
No, it would stay there for an hour or more. Yeah, it just it would be something that would be on there, just giving information about our church and perhaps programs that are going on.
Can you? I'm trying to figure out where the sign that is there now is, so I can just see the relative change. Can you? What is the allowed size of the face?
It's 15. 15 is
Do you know the overall size of the sign?
Yes, sir. It will be 7 feet by 7 inches long and looks like 40 inches high.
Well, plus the 10.5.
That's correct.
So 50.5 inches.
Correct.
of surface.
And it should be elevated by 7 feet.
And the clearance below is how much?
7 feet.
So there'll be no moving messages across the screen.
No.
You'll agree to that, Mr. Vogel?
Mr. Vogel? Yes.
There'll be no moving, stay there. Just one out. Put it record.
No moving signs?
No moving messages across the sign.
So no
And how-
issue here.
Yeah, that's going to be, he agreed to that. And the wording will not change. What's the frequency of the wording
No
that's
less
on
than an
there?
hour.
That's correct.
No less than an hour.
No less than an hour.
So it'll remain there. See, what the concern is that it becomes a distraction for drivers.
And we're aware of that.
Okay.
Will the sign be illuminated past a certain hour?
That can be determined by the contractor installing, but chances are we will probably turn it off when all the lights go off at midnight.
Our general conditions provide that when we close a business or when everything's turned off, the sign goes off with it. That's our general conditions.
Yes.
Let me know.
Is that the case, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do I have any questions, any other questions from the board?
Move that the hearing is closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar, will be notified by the applicant for the decision license record.
Second.
Thank you.
In favor?
Next week is 8623 through 8723, Lauren Off. Variances, lot area occupied, front yard after setback, construct second story addition, cantilever and park portico attached to one. Variances, lot area occupied, maintain shed with less than required side and rear yard setbacks, also known as 2614 Foxdale Avenue.
Do we have anyone here on this case?
Second call.
Next case?
Next we have case 8823 West Hempstead, April Bernstein. Variances of lot area occupied, rear yard, construct two-story, second-story addition, and roof over porch wall attached to known as 436 Langley Avenue. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, both the truth and nothing but the truth.
Andrew Shear, 391 Garfield Avenue, West Hempstead, New York, 11552.
April Bernstein, 436 Avenue, West Hempstead, New York, 11552.
Isaac Galena, 436 Avenue, West Hempstead.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. We are here this morning requesting two variances to construct additions on the house for lot area occupied as the first variance. The residence B zone requires 27.5%, and we are requesting a variance with with the porches at 33.1%. Without the porches, it would be 31.3%. With the porches, becomes 33.9%. We are also requesting rear yard variance for a small portion of the rear yard. Rear yard requirement is 25 feet, and we are requesting 23 foot 6 inches for a portion of about 25 feet of the rear yard addition. We did meet with many of the neighbors. We have 4 letters from neighbors who have no problems with it, including the neighbors at the rear and the side, and across the street.
Hold on, Mr. Chair. I don't see on my calendar a rear yard request except as it came to the shed. You need a rear yard for the addition?
There is no shed. Is that the right case?
Pardon me?
Is that the right case? Is there a shed?
Well, maybe not. Oh, my bad. We got, I think we got, yeah.
You have it?
All right, either way, go ahead.
Well, that's the case actually, so,
Funny, the other case has a second one.
Mr. Pellegrini, any comments?
No comment.
Mrs. Adams? Thank you. I have no other questions from the board, unless someone pipes up.
We're here in contact based on decision on Mr. Chair, you and your clients will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's here. Thank you.
All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Next, we have case 8923, Elma, Janine Barris. Variance is lot area occupied, front yard average setback, side yard is aggregate, construct second story addition with cantilever, 2-story addition with balcony, including foyer, movable portico, and wood deck, all that's involved. 1600 Rosewood Ave. Swear to God, don't put folders, let's make these up, yeah? See, put your name and address for the record.
Good morning, Amy Margaret, 1600 Rosswood Avenue, in Elmore, New York, 11003.
Jean Kennedy, 124 Kennedy Drive, Antigonish, New York, 11934. Good morning, you can still Ms. Jane Meredith of 1600 Rockland Avenue, Elmont, Section 32, Block 474, Block 34 and 35, residential zone C is requesting variance approval from the board to construct a new 2-story rear addition that is 16 feet by 28.64 feet. The existing dwelling will be renovated and getting a new foyer, roof over, new masonry stoop, second-story cantilever, second-story balcony, and a second-story addition. The house, as proposed, is now going to be retaining a 40.99% lot coverage and 35% is allowed, an increase to 5.99%. All the new construction to the front of the house is creating an encroachment in the front average yard setback of 13.66 feet from the roof over, open porch and stoop, 17.16 feet on the entry foyer and second floor balcony, and 18.16 feet from the second floor cantilever. The front yard setback to be maintained is 21.1. The house, as it stands now, before the construction, only has a 21.16 foot front average yard setback as originally built. Proposed addition is extending straight back off the rear of the house with a 3.41 side yard setback and 5 feet is required, which is a 1.5 foot shortage, and 11.33 foot aggregate setback and 15 feet is required, which is 4.67 feet.
The front of the building says existing 1.5-story dwelling, which is to maintain a 3.41. That's what's there now, or is that what's proposed?
I'm sorry,
The side yard,
yes, 3.41,
is that existing?
yes,
So the dwelling was built with a 3.41
correct.
and a 7.92.
Correct.
And was this house the subject of a variance at one point?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Mrs. Meredith has lived in the house for 25 years. 23 years, I'm sorry, 23 years.
And getting back to, you basically just extending it in line with the front to construct a rear.
Right.
It's going to be the same setback.
Right, but the house right now is a very, very small house. It's got one small little bedroom, little living room, little
Understood.
kitchen. So, in the demo plan, you'll see everything on the first floor, for the demo, except the bathroom, extending out the back, adding 3 bedrooms upstairs, four bedrooms. Our son is presently living with her right now, because he goes to school to be a radiologist. Her daughter, once the house is moved, is going to be moving in with her as well, because she's going through thyroid cancer treatment right now, so she wants to be there to help her. And eventually, hopefully, she will have grandchildren that'll be there as well. And I have pictures of the aerial shots of the house of the neighbors. Mrs. Meredith was breaking up. Well, she went around, got every single letter within 100-foot, 200-foot radius of all the neighbors, seeking their approval and consent on the launch. So we have that also to offer.
You want to submit that?
Yes.
So how many people intend to live in the dwelling?
4.
4?
1, 2, 3, 4. It will never be used as a 2-family dwelling. It will always only be 1 kitchen. We have no intentions of living separately or dividing it up. It's just, she's very close with her daughter and son, and she wants to help right now because nobody can afford roads, housing, but they're all both going to school. And they need help right now, so she's willing to offer and help. Also, to mention, Mrs. Meredith, a year and a half ago, almost passed away from COVID. And it's her lifelong dream to make this house a dream home for her and children, and she's not going to put it off any longer.
Good for you.
Right?
Thank you.
I think we covered everything, right?
Any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing closed and advertised on the King County, the State, and the Fire, and notified by mail that was a
Second. All in favor?
Next we have case 923 in Levittown, St. Bernard's Catholic Church. Variance height to construct steeple attached to existing church, also known as 3100 Hempstead. You swear on purpose of the full truth and the truth like that.
My name is Ralph Summer, SL9R, 3100 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown, New York. Frank Grubb, architect, 39 Northern America, 3 Standing Bedroom, Madison, New York.
You could have a seat. If you can't hear us, tell us, because if we can't hear you, we'll tell you. Yeah. Mr. Dano, can you begin?
Yeah.
State your name and address for the record. I think you already did that.
Sure. My name is Frank Grubb. I'm the architect of the project. 35 Pine Road, Street of Shedding, Nova, New York, from Shedding for Shedding. I've been here around summer, and it's been a Christian charge of taking on. Have all the here with us as well, basically any questions specific to the church or the furnishings of the church's church. We provided you a handout of a few sheets that I thought might be helpful for my presentation and to make it a little easier for the beauty of this sheet that I have on the larger board. That's up here right now. So what I'd like to do is to thank you. We're here today for a variance for a height to construct a steeple over the existing church roof. Previously, this church was built in 1985, and at the time it was built, it was to replace a former church that unfortunately had burned to the ground in the fire. In 1985, a new church was proposed and approved through the town of Hempstead. And on that particular church, when it was built, was a very large, I would say steeple, but it was more of a tower. And if I may stand for a minute, what used to be, up until recently, we applied for a renovation permit as well as a demolition permit. The demolition permit was to remove the former tower that used to be very close to Hempstead Turnpike. In the lower level of this tower was a room which is called an overflow room. So that on large holidays when the church was fairly full, there was sliding doors that would separate this room from the main body of the church, and that was in this lower level. As part of the renovation permit, we're maintaining that overflow room. If you've been by the site lately, the tower has since been removed all the way down to the slab, and on our construction permit for the alteration, we're reinstalling a one-story structure to replace the room that was there. But basically, we eliminated this very large tower element. The problem was it was built with vest block and steel, and it required constant maintenance over time, and continually had water leakage into this overflow room. So the church had decided to remove this tower. And now that it's gone, most of the parishioners as well as the diocese and Father Rob want the significance of having a church steeple. And we obtained all of our general permits knowing that we would not need any variances. However, we're here today because the building as per code is a 1.25-story building. There's a fire room at the top end of the church. And we knew that the steeple would require a variance, so we applied and obtained all our other permits, and here we are today in order to be able to do the steeple. The old original church, which there are some photos within there, which unfortunately had burned, did have a steeple. So it's something that is as significant to the church and to the parishioners by having a steeple itself.
And the proposal is at 64.9 from the crown and 61.2 from the grade?
Yes. The height to the roof of the church is plus or minus 30 feet, and the steeple is roughly 31 feet. The prior large tower that was out front was 64 feet or so from the crown of the road. So we're not exceeding the height of what it was before.
And the allowable is 60, right?
45.
45, I guess that was 60.
45.
From crown or from grade here?
Sorry?
Crown or from grade?
So, on sheet A200, we have indicated the outline of the prior power element that was there, and we're showing you that our proposed steeple to the top of the cross is at the same height. So what was there was far more intrusive volumetrically, and the footprint of that tower was roughly 30 feet by 30 feet, and it was almost 65 feet in height overall. Our proposed steeple has a footprint of 6 feet by 6 feet on top of that roof. The prior tower up front was only 18, 19 feet or so from the property line, and this now is more than 100 feet back from the property line at Hempstead Turnpike. So we feel that it's much less intrusive as a design element, but it also restores the look of the old original church with having a steeple pretty much as you walk into the house. Our proposed renovation on the church was to basically reorient people for when they come in. But the church never really had a lobby per se, and you came right out of the church into a very, very small vestibule. So people got out of the church in about 6 feet of distance from when they were exiting the main nave of the church. But redesign was more of a foyer for people to be able to have a little bit more accommodation for people when they come to the church, or if there's a funeral or a wedding, that before they get outside, they had some room.
I think we understand.
Sorry?
We understand.
Okay. So our proposal for the steeple is really a kind of restored one for the parish parishioners, as well as the diocese, as a reference to the past for their return.
Okay.
Is that your case, sir?
Sorry?
Is that your case?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think that design looks better than it was before you tore down the tower. It looks nice. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr.
Do I have
Chairman,
any other questions for the
Mr. Chairman, I would actually move that the hearing be closed and the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who signed in will receive a copy of the decision by mail once it is rendered. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions?
Go ahead, please. I wait every time I'm at mass. I wait for you. You know, like that first thing you do. Yeah, when you finish up, please say, it just feels like you're waiting to have this. For some reason,
Mr. Chairman, we're going to do the second call on case 6723 through 6923, Baldwin, Ketis Enterprises LLC, doing business as KFC of America, dual brands, maintaining one double-face illuminated detached ground sign, overall size 192 square feet, overall height 18 feet, setback 10 feet from Grand Avenue and 10 feet from the side property line, with attached reader board not permitted. Maintain menu board sign in conjunction with drive-through windows not permitted. Maintain the preview board signs in conjunction with drive-through windows not permitted. There's known as 1220 Grand Avenue.
Okay. No one came in opposition, so although an appearance waiver was not requested, we can grant one anyway. No one started in on the case. The building department inspected the premises on November 28, 2022, and at that time found that all prior conditions of the zoning board were met. As a result of that, do I have any questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the hearing be closed and that be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next case.
Next, we have case 7023 near Cedarhurst, BD of Navico. Renewal of grant to maintain 6-foot-high PVC fence for the dwelling on Oakland Avenue, which may substantially obstruct line of sight, also known as 542 Redwood Drive.
No one has appeared on this case, but we're going to grant an application for appearance waiver. The premises was inspected by the building department on November 7, 2022, at which time the inspection showed that all prior conditions of the zoning field were met. As a result of which, I'd like to know if we have any other questions from the board.
Mr. Chairman, again, I move that the hearing be closed and that be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Second.
Any all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, next we have case 7123 Levittown, Talent T. Malash and Martha Boyes. Renewal of grant to maintain and 6-foot-high fence and front yard setback at a lane, also known as 338 Fulton Road.
And no one has appeared on this case, so we are going to grant an appearance waiver. Building department inspected the premises on November 17, 2022, and found at that time that all prior conditions of the Board of Zoning Appeals were complied with. As a result, I would like to know if anyone, any board members, has an application.
I move, Mr. Chairman, that the hearing be closed and that be placed on the decision calendar. The applicant will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, we have one more call for case 8623 through 8723 Oceanside and Warren Ott. Variances, lot area occupied, front yard average setback, construct second story addition with cantilever, and front portico attached dwelling. Variances, lot area occupied, maintain the shed less than required, side and rear yard setbacks, also known as 2614 Foxdale Avenue.
It's got to maintain it too, so, do we have any idea, did we have heard, the office hasn't heard from anybody on the case?
No,
We did call their office, and they said he was on his way an hour and a half ago.
Who stayed?
Gennaro's office. And
How far away is Gennaro's office?
he's in Suffolk County, I know that deal
Can we maybe reach out to them? Should we see if we can hear in the afternoon? Nobody's there.
There's no one here in the afternoon.
Oh, that's right. So you,
So do we want to do decisions and hold for the
Good
shows?
idea. Yeah, that's
Rather than, we'll give them a chance to get here. I think we should do decisions.
should we ask you, should you guys call someone downstairs and ask them to reach out and see if he's on his way?
I did.
I mean, it's again, or what?
That was like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, you asked the office, or you did, or you called?
No, they called downstairs.
And what was the latest?
That was the update.
That he's on his way?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe he just left when we called.
Oh, well,
Let's not speculate about what he did.
All right, I'm stuck on this height thing.
Pardon?
on height.
45 foot, I don't know where he got 45 feet for a height for a steeple business.
I thought it was 60, that's what Arthur told me.
And that's what I'm seeing too, because in Business Excel is under 200, it's 30 feet, however, there's a carve out for 60 feet if it goes to site plan. So maybe because this doesn't have to go to site plan, and do this on less than an acre, it doesn't go to 60 foot.
But the 60 on the
The merits of the application side, I just want to know what was denied.
I understand. It used to be, before it was revised, I think it was probably just inadvertently dropped. It specified height of steeples.
Yeah, it was specifically steeples that Arthur recommended.
But the two sections I'm seeing is not above 30 feet in residence zones, and then just regular interpretation.
But that's the
business.
structure, that's not just steeples.
Right, it doesn't have a carve out.
I think
Let's go on.
But
it was inadvertently admitted.
Yeah.
I was saying.
All right, so start doing decisions. All right, the first case, actually, you're going to call it. Pardon? All right. So cases 67 and 69, 2023, involved Hempstead Enterprises LLC, DBA, KFC of America. The renewal of grants maintain one double-faced illuminated detached ground sign on total size 192 square feet. Overall height 18 feet, setback 10 feet from Grand Avenue and 10 feet from the side property line. Detached door not permitted. Okay.
Let's finish that.
Maintain menu board sign in conjunction with drive-through windows not permitted. Maintain preview board sign in conjunction with drive-through windows not permitted. Property known as 1220 Grand Avenue in Walden. Do I have a motion?
I move case 67 to 69, 23 involved in Hempstead Enterprises, DBA KFC of America at 1220 Grand Avenue be approved as requested.
Second.
Sorry.
Usual sign.
Yes. Yep.
And
5 years.
Second.
All in favor? Should we go to continue the decisions? We'll continue the decisions and let him.
He made us
let
wait.
him, let them get cool, calm, and collect. It's been a long drive. Case number 70, 2023, Leah Sears. Levy Habitat, an owner maintains 6-foot-high PVC fence post with one and open area which is substantially obstruct the line of sight. Property known as 542 Redwood Drive. Do I have any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Chairman, I would move case 70, 2023, near Cedars, Levy Habitat, as you described it, property located at 542 Redwood Drive, be approved as requested, 5 years of the usual expense condition.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, case number 71, 2023, Levittown. Prolonged T. Malaj and Martha Bodis. In all of the grant maintain pool with 6-foot-high fence in front yard setback on Heather Lane, property known as 338 Orchard Road in Levittown. Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
I move that case 71 of 2023 at 38 Orchard Road in Levittown, a pool and a fence be granted 5 years of the same previously imposed conditions.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Case 72 of 2023 near Valley Street. Kevin Mowat, the variance lottery occupied, construct two-story addition, attached dwelling, property known as 677 Homey Harbor Road near Valley Stream. Any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 72 of 2023, located at 677 Henry Harbor Road near Valley Stream, the board is requested.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next case, 73 and 74, 2023, Union Day. Evelyn Ernest Velasquez. Evelyn and Ernest Velasquez, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, variance, side yard, maintain air conditioning unit attached to dwelling. Property address is 553 Park Place in Union Day. Any discussion?
Well, they have an outside cellar entrance.
Do we want to to have someone inspect the property. Hold that case. Put it on reserve calendar.
So a board member will inspect it, or could we get
Board member.
That's probably the first step.
Yeah, board member would inspect. Cases 75 and 76 of 2023 1 to James O'Connor and Carabini. Variances front yard average setback, construct board home cantilever attached to dwelling, special exception to maintain accessory structure. Shed, higher than permitted, exceeding horizontal maximum, western required side yard, 270 Duck Pond Drive South. That has been adjourned, that case has been adjourned to March 1st at 9:30 a.m. Case 77, 2023, Garden City South, Reno, variance lot area occupied. Construct second-story addition with roof over porch attached to dwelling. Property address 332 Kensington Road South. That case has also been adjourned to March the 1st at 9:30 a.m. Cases 78 and 79, 2023, Lookout. Bernard and Lisa Kennedy. Variances lot area occupied, front yard average setback, construct a wood deck attached to the dwelling. Property known as 93 Garden City Avenue in Point Lookout. Do we have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
Given
any of us have motions today, or
I wanted to say something. It seems like a significant encroachment in the front yard, but in that area, it's extremely common. So while a neighbor, could look like it's significant, I feel like it's commonplace and it's consistent with the character of the neighborhood. I'd be interested if anyone else had any insight. I mean, it doesn't present any sort of safety issue that I could see, neither the deck nor the arbor. So unless someone feels otherwise, then I would, Mr. Chairman, move that cases 78 and 79 on Lookout. Bernard and Lisa Kennedy, as you described the case, affecting the properties 92 Garden City Avenue, be approved as requested.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next case. Case 80, 2023, Baldwin Joseph Resale. Variance height, construct second detached three-car garage. Property address is 7 Earl Place. This is the gentleman with the 17 different motor vehicles and motorcycles, one of which is a BMW, which imposes a restriction on the BMW.
Okay.
Let him only keep the Harley Davidsons. Of course, I don't like BMWs. It's got too big. I'm being facetious. Is there any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
They agreed to no heat, no plumbing, no repairs of the vehicles, and that all the vehicles maintain a current New York State registration or valid registration.
Okay. So,
Therefore,
any other comments?
I would move that case 80 of 2023, Joseph Rizzo, be granted with the conditions that I just stated.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Cases 81 and 82 of 2023. 2K Gomez, install pool equipment not permitted in the side yard. Install 6-foot high fence larger than the pool installation area not permitted in the front yard. Variance, rear yard, maintain closed porch, attached dwelling property addresses 3615 Malon Broward Drive. This is the one where I believe we wanted to cut back the fence on the southeast corner.
Let me just make sure. Is that the one I gave you?
Correct.
Yeah, so this is the case where we spoke with the representative for the applicant. It's a strange, a unique street property, unique angles. But we decided, I think that I proposed that the applicant seemed to be amenable to it, or the representative to, that in an effort to guard against any potential safety issues created by the fence going all the way to the street in the front and running along it significant distance, the applicant's driveway and the neighbor to the, I guess it would be the north, to the west of the applicant. The road curves there, and there was concern that it's just, number one, it could present a safety issue in terms of visibility for both pedestrians and vehicular traffic. In addition to that, it does sort of create that compound look that the town is trying to get away from or avoid having. So we suggested, so I would suggest, my motion would be that we would grant the pool and equipment as requested, the enclosed porch as requested, and that the fence grant would be granted to the extent that it runs down the eastern property line, I think it's eastern, the applicant's property toward the Broward Road in front, that the fence would stop 8 feet short of the front property line of the applicant, and from there it would cut directly back to the southeast corner of the residence. So it would be on an angle, but that would provide a visibility area and get away from that compound look. So it's safe, and it would provide safety. So that would be my motion, that we grant that with the usual pool and fence conditions, the fence granted 5 years.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Next case, 83 of 29. Mary Ann Mariano, variances, lot area occupied, rear yard, maintained, addition attached dwelling. Property address is 2044 Franklin Avenue, East Meadow. That case has been adjourned to February 15, 2023, 2 p.m. Case 84 of 2023, Alfred Beckamar. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard aggregate, rear yard maintained, deck roofed over, attached to garage, and to dwelling. Property address 3630 Centerview Avenue in Wanto. Any discussion?
I move that case, I move that case 84-2023, Alfred Beckemeyer at 3630 Centerview Avenue be granted on the proviso also that they close all open building permits.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 80. You want to read it? Oh. Case 85 of 2023, near Island Park, Full Gospel Church. Install one double-faced illuminated LED reader porch sign not permitted in setback 12 feet from Austin Boulevard. Property address is 4101 Austin Boulevard. Do I have any discussion?
No,
I move case.
Wait.
I just wanted to mention that they agreed to not changing the animation or whatever you want to call it, the LED portion of the sign, any more often than 1 hour. So any more frequently than 1 hour between the changes.
I move case 85 of 2023, located at 4101 Austin Boulevard, which is near Island Park, the Full Gospel Church, be granted as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
5 years.
Oh, yes.
Cases 86 and 87 are sitting in the audience. Do you want to hear that case, or do we want to?
Well, we only have 3 others.
All right, we'll give it to you. Case 88 of 2023, West Hempstead, April Bernstein. Variances, lot area occupied, rear yard, construct second-story, 2-story addition, and 2-story addition. A roofed over open porch will attach to dwelling. Property address is 436 Lee Avenue in West Hempstead. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 88-23, West Hempstead, April Bernstein at 436 Larry Avenue, be approved as requested.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Case 89 of 2023 in Elmont. Jenny Meredith, variances, lot area occupied, front yard after setback, side yard avenue. Construct second-story addition with cantilever, second 2-story addition with balconies, enclosed foyer, roof over portico, and wood deck, all attached to dwelling. I would like to inspect that piece of property myself.
Okay.
That reserved down. Case Case 90, 2023, Levittown, St. John's Catholic Church. They are entitled to construct steeple attached to existing church, south side of Hempstead Turnpike. Property address 3100 Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I'll move, Mr. Chairman, the case 90, 2023, Levittown St. Bernard's Catholic Church, as previously described, located at 3100 Hempstead Turnpike, be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? I would, excuse me, I would like to have this gentleman present his case rather than holding it.
The problem is we ran out of grants now.
Never come late. We have 13 grants per session.
This is a first. Calling case 8623, 8723, Oceanside, Warren Rock. Variances, lot area occupied, front yard having setback, construct a second-story addition, cantilever, front portico attached dwelling. Variances, lot area occupied, maintain shed with left required side and rear yard setback. Also known as 26 block area. Swear from the truth, nothing but the truth, coming back. State your name and address for the record.
Apologies for the noise. Gennaro Cosolino from 125 Deer Park Avenue, Deer Park, New York, 11729. Here for the homeowner, Lauren Ott, residing at 2614 Foxdale Avenue, Oceanside, also known as Section 54, Lot 174, Lot 19, located in the residence B zone. We're requesting relief from the board to build a second floor addition with portico and to maintain the existing shed. These structures require variances for lot coverage, requesting 29.3% from permitted 27.5%.
49 or 30?
Excuse me?
Did you say 49 or 30?
29.3.
49. Still didn't get it.
I apologize. From 27.5%, a difference of 1.8%. Permission to reduce front yard setback from front yard average of 30.85 feet to 17.07 feet, so a difference of 13.78 feet. These setbacks go to the existing vestibule and portico, which we are only replacing the roof structure over both. We're also maintaining an existing frame shed that requires a variance for side yard setback, requesting 0.6 feet from permitted 2 feet, a difference of 1.4 feet. And variance for rear yard setback, requesting 0.7 feet from permitted 2 feet, a difference of 1.3 feet. Should the board agree to approve the shed, we would condition the shed to be, should the shed be replaced to be in a conforming location.
Can I just ask you,
Sure.
the required front yard is 30.85, you said, and you're proposing 1707. I realize that proposal is the front portico.
Vestibule and portico, correct.
That. So is the existing house, what is the existing house at 25.15?
The house is at 25.5. There is an existing 25.5.
I think it's the 25.15.
25.15.
Okay, so that is your existing house.
That house.
Okay. So it's already, otherwise it looks like huge encroachment, 30 to
Exactly.
17.
And there is an existing, the vestibule and portico are there already. If you look on the elevations, we're changing the design of the portico, which requires a new roof structure. I have pictures. For the record.
Would you like to place it in evidence?
Yes.
We'll accept those photos and evidence. That's cute shapes for a shed.
It's cute style. It's just a wood cover. All right, I'm done with this. Is that case?
That's my case, thank you.
Chairman, I move that hearing be closed and then placed on the decision calendar to be notified by mail that this decision was approved.
Can I ask if there are any comments from the board before we do that?
When you ask the question, they don't say anything.
We don't say. Do I have a second on that motion? Second. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. We're glad you made it. Just wait until it That concludes today's calendar. Can we go to the reserve decision calendar now?
No, we have.
Oh, okay. So, So we have one more case on the decision calendar. Cases 86 and 87 in 2023 Oceanside, Long Island. Variances let area occupied front yard after setback to construct second-story addition, cantilever in front porch over attached dwelling. Variances let area occupied, maintain a shed with less than required side and rear yard setbacks, property address 2614 Foxdale Avenue in Oceanside. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
Chairman, I move case 86 and 87 of 2023, located at 2614 Foxdale Avenue, Oceanside, be granted as requested.
And do I have a second on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That concludes the calendar for today. And we now move to the reserved decision calendar. Gentlemen, anything interesting on the reserved calendar?
Quite a bit. We want to see those because if we have a longer session.
Well, it's
Well, yeah, the MCRT, we're still holding on that one. Which one? The MCRT multifamily dwelling, the draft for the jurisdictional element of this case is still being reviewed with the next one on the reserve calendar is Rockwood portfolio matter. I sent a new draft revision to all the board members. It's now structured in a way in which the articles are separate. I don't know okay, so essentially the language of the decision runs as follows. There's a permanent portion of the grant, there's a temporary portion of the grant. The permanent portion discusses specifically the religious use. Religious use. The temporary portions are specific to the temporary structure and would be revocable after 1 year unless they file an application for a permanent grant. At that time, they're allowed to apply for a 1-year renewal. That renewal will run from 1 year after this grant, so it'll be January 25th of next year. Renewable one more time. After 3 years, all temporary relief is void.
And only renewable if they meet certain other.
Correct. So the main one is they have to file for a permanent application with the building department within 1 year, which would be 1 year from today. Right. And after that, it is a more interpretive condition, but they have to prosecute that in good faith. That allows us to have the discretion to determine whether or not they are doing so. It's not a hard line and fast rule, but it does give us some leeway.
You want to read it?
I read it.
Are you comfortable with the language of that decision? Okay.
I'll can I keep up?
Mrs. Donato is inclined to make a motion, I believe.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion as relates to case 595 of 2022 that the board adopt the grant prepared. First we'll make a motion that the board make a declaration as to the civil determination.
Any discussion? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Secondly, Mr. Chairman, as it relates to the same case, 595 of 2022, the property at 56 East Rockaway Road, that the board adopt the grant prepared by council to the board in conjunction with the board's prior deliberations and decision.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Snyder typically, or is that Ms. Perry?
I am going with Ms. Perry.
Yes, so I went to inspect the property. It's very narrow property. However, there are some letters in consent from the neighbors. And I think they are taking away the garage. So there's space in the back for the shed, to construct the shed. So I moved case 672 to 673 22 West Hempstead, Jennifer Simonowitz at 14 Hawthorne Street, be approved as requested.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and abstentions. Next.
The next matter is the retail property trust, which concerns the hotel, Rose Hotel at the Roosevelt Village Mall. I provided a memo to the board specific as to our obligations pursuant to SECRA. There's a couple of complexities. The main complexity is we have genuine concerns as it pertains to certain environmental factors in this case, as I've got traffic and water usage. I spoke with the Conservation of Waterways, and they do seem to be of the opinion that there is concern that right now we are functioning in what's called an uncoordinated review for unlisted actions, which fall under, so we have type 1, type 2 actions. Type 1 means that you have to have a secret vote. Unlisted actions fall under type 1 actions. Type 1 actions have certain enumerated levels. So, for example, in the Baldwin overlay zone that was just in the town board, if it's over 2 acres and it's a rezone, you're required to have a long form. For unlisted, because this is a smaller structure, it doesn't fall under an enumerated for type 1, so it's considered unlisted. It still requires a secret vote, short form environmental assessment form. I spoke with Conservation of Waterways, and if there is concerns regarding this environmental impact, a coordinator review may be in the cards. The issue I have with that is I don't believe that this body is the best avenue to perform that coordinated review. As it pertains to us, this is only going to fall under 305 site plan review, the BCO, which means it is required to be reviewed by the town board. And they're the ones that coordinate. They send out their secret calendar to every department in the town prior to making a voter decision when it comes to secret. Now, if we did go for the avenue of positive declaration, we'd automatically be designated as the lead agency and we'd be required for coordination. Even if we did a net deck without any conditions, if there was a positive deck issued by the town board, we'd have to reopen it and follow it anyway. What I proposed was, it's in the secret law, it's called a conditional negative declaration. The language that I provided, that's just simply a draft. I just wanted to throw something together so you guys saw what it would look like. It's basically said as, we are not quite convinced yet. We believe another body that is required to review this is a better avenue for them to conduct a full review, and that we have the right to reopen and issue a positive declaration should the town board find that there are issues as to the water and traffic concerns. But I
don't even see how I don't think we should be making a draft grant or denial until we determine what we say.
I wasn't directed to a draft grant. What I did was I provided what a draft secret conditional net deck would look like.
Because it says the RB to draft breaks. That's what I'm like.
Yeah, it was a memo on the secret, but what I provided to the board was what a conditional net deck would look like, because we've never done that.
So we don't have a.
No, not on the actual
That's concerning me because I'm thinking I don't remember voting for this because I have real concerns about it.
We're going to hold this. Okay.
That's the short one.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah. We still haven't gotten no information on 560. I have more time. I'll follow up on that. That's on me. As for 12 and 13, I think who those members of the board.
Yes. Okay, so I went to inspect 12 to 13 and 23 Franklin Square, Will Hughes, and that is okay. So I will.
Three front doors.
Oh, you're right. I take that back.
He's always right.
Okay, sorry. So we did went to inspect. I'm sorry, I got a little confused. We'd like to send the building department as we inspected because there seems to be some front doors.
And basement.
Yeah.
Is that the fourth one?
No, that's the third. Front door, side door, but the leading into
Next case, 2023, Gem Fitness, that considered it was a request to construct and maintain a gym. It was like an Orange Theory where you go in, you have a class, you leave. I was tasked to reach out to Mr. Benesso regarding whether or not his client would agree to a temporal limitation of 5 years on it. He provided an email which I sent to the board essentially stating that funding would be incredibly difficult to ascertain if there was a temporal grant on that. So there was still a draft grant sent to the board with the same conditions. It's identical to what I provided previously. It's the only change would have been the temporal portion.
Do I have a motion on this case?
I move that case 20 of 2025. 23.
2 years ahead.
Wishful thinking.
No, Gem is 2 years old.
Gem Fitness Incorporated, DBA Red Box Fitness, a special exception for public assembly and amusement at 3333 to 3349 Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown, be granted with the conditions read.
Second.
That's the first second before do I have, since there's no discussion, it's already been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next. Mrs. Merrill.
Okay, I went to inspect
4523.
23 at Valley Stream, Samantha Greenberg, and Doug Powell. They have,
That was the one with the 30-page.
yes, one objector, but a lot of
Photographs.
Correct. It's a large piece of property on the side. The person who objected won't even have a view of this because they have, first of all, a large fence and then huge shrubs. So I do move to approve case 4523 near Valley Street at 625 Halifax Place.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
As to the last matter, I spoke with applicant's architect concerning the location of the fence. The board tasked me with essentially finding a situation which can maximize the yard while preventing all potential safety concerns around the corner. I have 2 site plans here. One was implemented, that's what was originally proposed. And this is what the architect redrew and gave us a full gap clear section on it.
This is where it comes in.
Yes, and there's no stop sign here, and the Fairway Road's one of them.
I think that's, I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Henry.
That he's,
Which one do you think is okay?
Commitment site plan.
so we got
I
to.
have okay.
The one with the green crayon mark. You want to say that?
Yeah, the thing is though, we got to mark that up, right? You're going to mark it. So
Right.
we know in the file, so when the building department gets in the file, they know.
Well,
and then you pull the evidence out.
It's going to be pursuant to that one, which was last date.
I know, but I mean, mark, like, put it like, I don't know, exhibit, whatever you want to do.
These are all the front.
Pull those out, yeah.
These are fine.
I'm going to hand it back to Mr. Goldberg.
But I'll,
Certainly confident to take care of it.
what's the date of just for reference to my motion?
So this was amended on January 20th,
120.
23, sorry. 120, figure out the year.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, as relates to case 664 of 2022, Legal Beach, Alice Amity, requested scholarships for high physical dwelling on Forward Road, which might have substantially disrupt the line of sight in that percent triangle. I move, affecting property at 143 Fairway Road. I move that the board grant the request for the fence in the location reflected on the amended site plan, which is dated January 20th of 2023, and that grant be a 5-year grant with the usual fence conditions.
Do I have a second?
Say it before.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next.
I have one thing on the referral. That was one of the last cases that we put on the Coria Borgowski and Edward Rains affected property, 64 Mineola Avenue. A new site plan was submitted to the building department by new council. Christian Brown's taking this over. It has been denied for no longer needs the third story. So what my recommendation would be to restore it to the hearing calendar, new notices reflecting the amended caption, and then have to go through the regular processes to get it back on the calendar. If that is agreeable to the board.
Good advice.
Is that agreeable to the board?
So it will still need number of stories? or
No, no longer needs number of stories.
It no longer needs height?
Mrs. Adams?
No, it still needs height.
Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Ms. Perry? Mrs. D'Amato?
Yes.
What's the motion? Sorry, was that okay, let's just start back here.
Restore back to the front calendar.
That
I
one
mean, that
is that one.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, I have one extension of time.
The
This.
neighbors saw that, they're gonna get all of us.
Right, exactly. So it's who knows? Who knows? So it's going to be going through the regular process, but it's still be everything very real. One extension of time. Sorry, it's not fancy, but it is timely. It was done within the past 8 months. They're basically pricing out contractors. So they didn't pick up permits yet, and that's their excuse for what it is. The application. Sorry. Nathaniel and Shannon Rosenberg, 763 Sherwood Court, near Valley Street. Case number 605 last year.
Sounds impressive.
628 last year.
Oh, sorry. This is
How was it?
this is sorry. This is. Oh wait. There's two. Sorry. This is one that was submitted later. Me two of them. This one was submitted on time. Again, was still here.
So I would make a motion that we grant a one-year extension of time for case number 605 of 2022, and the applicant is Nathaniel and Sharma Rosenberg.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
And then, sorry, there is one more extension of time for Yeshiva Mishmas Elkanah. Yeah, I do. I'm good with
There's an additional request for an extension of time. It's a yeshiva in Inwood, Montana. It was granted by the board on November 10th, 2021. It is a first extension of time, and they need time to, once the variance was approved, we need to finalize the final construction drawing, including interior design and fire alarm settings. So they need more time to push their paperwork through the system.
Are you making a motion?
Any comments over there? I move that case number 6/20/2021 be granted a one-year extension of time to process their paperwork.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, please, no.
I'm sorry.
The last I have is a hearing request. In this matter, it was approved for a mother and daughter at a deck. They blew through the time to get permits. It's too late for them to file for the second time, so they wanted to rehear the case. It's going to be substantially the same factors, it's going to be the exact same factors, but they need to legalize it properly. So that's the request for the rehearing. We obviously rehearing. So mother, daughter, and I have the information back here. Yeah, it's
To maintain mother daughter?
maintain. Yeah, it was granted on January 10th, 2018. Okay, case numbers 11 and 12 of 2018.
Or was it maintained, they granted in 2018 and they never legalized it? They never finished it?
Correct.
It's
So
maintained on the second kitchen?
yes, and they never picked the permits.
Probably because they have a third kitchen. Oh, and they never got the parents?
No, they didn't pick up permits. It's the same family living there. They don't plan on. What happened was essentially they're trying to transfer the property in the name of the son, because it's currently in the name of the mother. It's a living trust. So they want to make him the official owner. In order to do that, the bank's not letting them make the transfer until it's properly legalized. They said it was legalized. They never picked up the permits.
5 years later.
Only 5.
Yes, right, that we know of. It could have been 10 years of existence.
Is there a motion to
Do we have a motion to grant the hearing?
I know that as it relates to case number 11 and 12, 2018, on the daughter request. I don't know the name of the applicant that I need to allow the case to be reopened pursuant to the request of the applicant.
Second.
All in in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's it? That's it. Party's over. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make, okay, make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Do we meet next week?
We do, the first one.
Joe, pay attention, we adjourn cases. Now you're asking.
I don't know what day today
Let's
is.
adjourn the case to the day. Let's adjourn cases to the day when we don't meet. That way you and I can show up.
It could be like Jerry. I know when we meet, but when don't we meet?
We're meeting next week. All right.
I think this is what I want.
I have to see, what do I have to see, Patrick?
You have to go.
Do you think anybody's there?
Oh, yeah.
Or they're all at lunch? Yeah, I gotta see.
Standards, I'm putting together a draft secret. It's different. I just put that in here so you can see it.